Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to start with one more topic of CA Foundation. Actually, this is the starting of my series for the professional courses, that is our CA Foundation. One of the toughest exams in India, and business law. The chapter, the topic most of us find difficulty in. I'm starting with Companies Act and will make sure that we do this chapter nicely. Oh, wait. Okay. Now, the thing is, business law comes for 60 marks. Means out of 100 marks, if you are thorough with business law, it will be coming for 60 marks. And the 40 marks is for your reporting, another subject. Okay. So, 60 marks business law matters a lot. Actually, everything matters a lot in this. And without wasting time, I am going to start. Okay. Presentation of act. How do you present any act? Like, this is something you must have noticed in documents, if have you seen any official documents or in the movies. So this is a special way to read it and say. Like, first is your number, second is in your Roman, then this, then alphabet. So this is actually your section, then subsection, clause, and subclause. This is the way to write. First you write section, then you write subsection, then clause, finally with subclause. So how will you read this particular act? You will say section 24, subsection 2, clause 1, subclause B. This is how you are supposed to present any act. You should pay attention to this because you are going to deal with these acts only throughout the subject. And you must know how to read the act name, right? Then, okay. I wrote it here. Let me just rub it. Now, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA. The Companies Act 2013 is governed by MCA, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay, just general knowledge thing, we should know that Companies Act is governed by which, like if there is a government, so there's ways, like there is some council for law, some is for farmers, right? So for the particular Companies Act, the ministry which looks after the Companies Act is nothing but Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Then applicability of Companies Act. Now what does this mean? This particular thing means on which type of companies do the act prevails on. What simply mean is, I'm going to tell you few places where we follow Companies Act of 2013. Okay, like there are so many companies. How will you determine which will follow Companies Act, which will not? So this is applicability, means kaha kaha lagu hoga. Okay, the companies incorporated under this act or previous Companies Act. Now, what is previous Companies Act? Okay, 18, wait, let me. So there are predecessors of this act, like the act in 1813, 1856. I don't really remember the years well. And somewhere in the 1902 and then 2013. So these all are the Companies Act. formulated again and again for the better outcome, right? If you make something, you do improvement in that. In the same way, Companies Act was framed with the inspiration of the British Companies Act. But obviously, we can't follow all the rules of British Companies Act, so we kept on improving our Companies Act, and now till date, the Companies Act we follow is Companies Act of 2013. So what it means here is any company, whether it's a Samosa chart or if it's a Adani ki company, if it is under the Companies Act 2013 registered or any previous Companies Act like 1856, any, then they will follow the Companies Act. They have to abide the rules by the Companies Act. Insurance companies, banking companies, companies engaged in supply or generation of electricity. Now, what do I mean by this? Why have I written it again? Wait. Why have I written insurance companies, banking companies, companies in supply or generation of electricity again and again? It should be in this only, right? So, to answer you about it, the thing is, insurance companies has its own law, like there is a Companies Act, right? There is something related to insurance companies act as well. Banking, RBI is there, Reserve Bank of India. It certain guidelines is given by the RBI that banking companies have to follow. Same goes with electricity generating companies. They also have their own set of rules which they are, you know, have to follow. But then why they are then we have written it under Companies Act? So the thing is, there might be few points that is not written in your insurance company, banking company, or companies engaged in supply or generation of electricity, right? Any point they can be जो कि है ही नहीं लिखा in any, like there's a matter in insurance companies and they want to know if they are doing it right or not, but that thing is not mentioned in the Insurance Companies Act. Then what they will do? Simply they will follow Companies Act of 2013. That's the only way I have written this. All this is the same way given in your module as well. Statutory companies. Statutory means state control. State Statutory companies means state control. So the companies which are under our state basically means what? Government. So any company owned by the government is known as statutory companies. Fine? Or the okay, let me type it. Body corporate which are incorporated by any act for the time in force. First, let us talk about statutory companies. What I say? Companies under or owned by government. For example, ICAI. ICAI is for the CAs, right? And it is owned by your government. Then wait, what I was citing, I forgot the name for CS company, but yeah. So all the companies, oh, all the companies which are under or which are owned by the governments are known as statutory companies. So even those companies have to follow the guidelines, the rules, the laws of the Companies Act of 2013. Now body corporate which are incorporated by any act for the time in force. Let's say body corporate, simply you can say a foreign company like Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, or Ford, the car company. Is it from India? Answer is no, it's not from India. It's from some another country, right? But it has its factories, its outlets, its shops in India, right? It does the company, it is a company in India, it does its business in India. So even though it's a foreign company which is like from outside, still it is incorporated by any act. Any act means any companies act. जैसे यहाँ पे था any previous companies act, the same way. Any foreign company incorporated means basically registered. So any foreign company registered under any of the companies act for the time being force, like for the time they are in India, for the time for they are in India, they should be registered by any of the companies act, whether the previous one or this one. Hence they also have to follow the companies act without any doubt. I hope this is clear. Okay, company, we are now digging up in what is a meaning of the company. Sorry, I'm down with cold and cough. So कंपनी का डेफिनेशन है हमारी कंपनीज एक्ट ऑफ 2013 में इन सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 20 व्हाट आई सेड सेक्शन 2 clause 20. Now do you any of you have any doubts in this? Okay, I hope you did. You might say that this is sections, this should be subsection because हमने पढ़ा था first it comes section फिर subsection clause then subclause. So remember, in case of definitions you only have section followed by clause, and this is damn important. Okay, this is damn important. Company, so they can, if you are writing the definition of the company according to the Companies Act, you must tell where it is situated. Like it says, you will say company according to section 2 section 2 clause 20 of Companies Act of 2013. Company means a company. You'll say what? Exactly. Company is just a company if it is incorporated, means registered under Companies Act of 2013 or any previous law. You can see such a simple definition. Like in our junior classes, in our in 11th and 12th, we learned that company is a artificial person having separate legal identity with perpetual succession and common seal. Yeah, that is way too true. That is actually saying the features of the company, and जो आपको याद है, it is not wrong. But here I am not talking about क्या हमें याद है क्या आप लिख सकते हो. I am talking about the exact words that is written in Companies Act 2013 section 2 clause 20. याद रखना है section 2 clause 20. Company means just a company incorporated under Companies Act of 2013 or any previous act, it doesn't matter. बस Companies Act में registered है, चाहे 2013 की हो या कोई भी हो, कंपनी है वो. Simple definition, easy to learn. Wait. Okay. Wait. Let me just check it once. Okay, now I'll now tell you about a case. I'll tell you about a case study. This case study will be a homework to write it in your own words and learn. ठीक है? So there is a person M. I don't remember the true spelling of this guy, and in your module 2 we are denoting him as M, so I'll say M. So M is actually from Macquarie. Macquarie versus Northern Association Company. So I'll just tell you briefly the case and try to write it in your own words for a better understanding. If you have any doubts, I'm going to tell you it in detail And don't worry, the notes will be 100% provided by me. These things that I'm writing right now, you don't need to write, just listen and understand. Tomorrow, with the notes I'll provide you, when I'll tell you to write, you can write. But for now, ये लिखना है, please. Okay? Now, Makara versus Northern Association Company. So, there's this business company of timber, a very good company of timber. Now, 99%, 99 or something more than that too, is owned by Mr. M. Makara. Okay, ध्यान से सुनना है. There is a company of timber. Okay, they deal in timber. Now, the owner of the company is none other than our Makara sir. Now, Makara sir is like company and me is one and the same thing. M thinks me is equals to company. This is the thought Makara have कि पूरे पैसे मैं ले रहा हूँ कंपनी से. I am the only recipient of profit. I am the only one in the management. That company is mine. I am having 99% of share. So basically मैं और company एक है. We are no different person. Okay, so this is the thought of Makara. Is it true? In previous classes, do you remember we learned company have separate legal entity and it's an artificial person? Do you remember? I hope you do, because if you do, the next video coming will be super easy for you. तो Makara sir ने सोच लिया that me and company is the same thing. But is it not true, right? So now what happened? This is, let's say, scene 1. In scene 1, we saw that there is a company of timber, 99% share owned by Makara, and Makara have a thought that B is equals to company, company is equals to me. We are same. ठीक है? Now scene 2. There is an insurance company named Northern Association Company. Now, Mr. Makara goes to Northern Association Companies and gets his insurance. ठीक है? We will say, okay, very good. He went, he got his own, insurance, and ठीक है, we got it. And the deal goes. क्या हुआ? This was still scene 1, you are done, right? Scene 2 में he went to the insurance company named Northern Association Company and gets his own insurance. Like your parents must have insurance as well. So that if there is any, or the car insurance, the car insurance, if any damage happens to your car, you will get the money. In the same way, he gets his own insurance. Now scene 3. The climax scene. The company of timber gets into fire. And there is very much of loss. क्योंकि सोचो, in a company, fire broke out. So everything will be burned. Even the timbers, the main product. So don't you think Makara will now face huge losses? Makara faces huge losses. But Makara suddenly thought, oh fuck, sorry. But Makara suddenly thought, I have insurance. You will say, wow, very good. Makara's luck was so good. He even got his own insurance. Now there's a fire. That is means M has suffered losses. यही हुआ ना? When timber got burned, एम लॉस हैज सफर्ड लॉसेस, उनके पैसे लगे थे, 99% उनकी कंपनी थी, तो लॉसेस किसको हुए? ऑफ कोर्स मकोरा को. So Makora thought that I have insurance. मैंने अपनी इंश्योरेंस लिए, it means it will cover this because it's a direct loss to me. So he goes to the company and have a talk with the Northern Association company and demands insurance value, insurance money, right? He's like, I have this losses, give me my money and stuff. What do you think will happen now? The thing is, another association says no. They say that this demand of yours is invalid. Makarov goes up like, no, this can't mean the company was mine, me and company were the same, and I have my own insurance, means the company was also having the insurance. If something happens to my company, you should give me. This was the argument of Mr. Makora. But association said, ki sir, the insurance was yours. It was yours, Makora's insurance. It wasn't the insurance of your timber company. Of course, why would Makora agree with it so easily? He still have the thought that me is equals to company. We are same. Mera insurance with company ka insurance, and I am liable to get the money. What do you think happened? They went to the court, and the court was really happy. It's a easy case. Court held that Makora will not get any insurance money because the company and the member have separate legal entity. Business has a separate legal entity from its owner. It doesn't matter. It will not at all matter if Makora had his insurance, if Makora had 99% of the company, even if it had 100%, 102, that is a superficial thing. Kuch bhi ho. It doesn't matter. Company is just like another human being. Like if your father is having insurance on his name and something happens to your mother, can you claim money for that? कंपनी वाले क्या कहेंगे that father's insurance we don't have anything for your mother because your mother did have insurance. In the same way, company didn't have insurance, Mr. Makara did have insurance, and this is a case based study for separate legal entity. You can write this in your own words, just see it once. Oh, why it is coming? Yeah, see this once. Scene 1, how he thought he and the company are same. Scene 2, he got his own insurance. Scene 3, bubble broke because of fire as he got to know that they are the separate legal entities. If सोचने से नहीं होता that we are the same. Now one more, just one. It's a very short topic, not even a topic. Perpetual succession, it means ki even the members goes into liquidation, if the members die, if they go insane, it doesn't matter to company goes on. Like in India there are many companies that are going like after 100 years also. No insan can live for 100 years, but the companies are alive because companies begin when they are registered with the law, with the government, and they can only be dissolved by the law. So perpetual succession means the company will go on no matter what. Like MDH, we seriously got to know that the owner of the MDH, the old guy, actually died. Unfortunately, he used to come in ads and everything. He died, right? But don't you get the MDH masalas right now in the shops? You do, right? Because the company goes on. We all are sad about how the owner, the real founder of the company, died, but it doesn't matter to the company. Company will go on. You can say it is a social responsibility of a company to go on, as it affects the life of thousands, right? Now, छोटा सा example, there was a mm, business owned by 7 members, and unfortunately they all died in a plane crash. I know I didn't draw plane well, but yeah, they all died in a plane crash. 7 members were the only owners of this company. They died, but the company goes on no matter what. So this is what it is. I hope it is clear to all of you. With this, I am ending this video. This was a very short video, you can say just a introduction video for Companies Act of 2013. I hope you like my video. If you do, so do like, subscribe, share. Just remember it like a chain. Like, subscribe, share my channel. Also ring the bell hang button so you will get the all the notifications of my channel. Next video will be soon. Next video will come next video soon. Till then, stay tuned. Have a nice day ahead, and if you like my video, so do like, subscribe, and share my channel. Thank you.